Alright guys, welcome to RC Mojo. This week we're going to have a quick look at a couple of little updates to the Scania. These were supposed to be part of a longer video where we wire up the lights in the roof and the cab. But there's been some medical issues with my dad this last week, so I've been more than a little preoccupied. Right, well, the updates are only going to be little ones, but it's a bit of progress nonetheless. First, the roof display now has a blue strip at the bottom to display information. It's really just for testing, but it does show that the system works. The roof display has a serial connection to the main logic board, so it can request or receive pushed information. By default, the lighting mode on the logic board is off, or mode 0, so the display goes straight to sleep to save power. If we turn the lights on from the transmitter, the display powers up and shows the RC Mojo animation. When it enters the slideshow, we have the blue band at the bottom with the battery voltage. Quite handy. It updates every few seconds, so rather than a constant display, we could have it so it shows low power warnings or other useful information. Also, we still need to stick the sunroof in. If we look under the roof, we can see the other bits that make it go. At the back is the trailer radio and audio amplifier, and under those, just out of sight, is the logic board, which connects to the display board. The display board relays the data to another connector for setup and diagnostics, which runs down the cab and along the chassis. So here we have a Tufty 2040 LCD badge from Monitorin. For our use, it's got a Raspberry Pi 2040 microcontroller, a rather nice LCD and some buttons. By adding the 4-pin connector and connecting up 4 wires, it makes an ideal little interface. Right now it's running some old code that's been modified for the larger LCD, so it's only using the left half, but it does work as a proof of concept. We just plug it into the serial port behind the side skirt door, turn on the truck, and turn on the Tufty. It sends some data to the logic board to make sure it's there, then gives you a few options. Monitor in is the most fun. We're using a 16-channel S-bus radio, so we can see the current position of the channels in numbers 0 to 2000 and a bar graph. Very handy if something isn't quite working. You can see what the system is really seeing. The plan is to be able to assign light types to the LED channels, configure which RC channels do what, and a few other bits and bobs too. If things ease up a bit next week, we'll work on some of the lights. Maybe the front bumper headlights, or perhaps the roof and the upper cab. We'll have to see how it fits in with how much time I've got. Also, another project that's nearly ready after a really long wait. I've nearly got all the bits together to start a Tamiya XV01 with a full carbon fibre chassis, or at least that's how it's advertised. So that'll be fun to compare with the stock chassis XV01 we built a few years ago. I'm thinking it's going to be a fair bit lighter and more agile. Anyway, that's it for this week. As always, thanks for watching. Like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment if there's something on your mind. Bye guys.